It's the JT Cho Show! Got him.
Nice. I was sorry I was late.
It's cool.
Cheers.
Cheers to 118.
To Maxwell.
Episode 118 is dedicated to Maxwell. And you're like, hey, who's Maxwell?
It's our new friend.
So we'll play the
Taylor's
clip.
new dog.
Well, not yet. We'll play this clip at the beginning. Come on, bud.
Oh, they're backpacking.
What the heck, dude? We're rescuing a dog. So we were about to record the podcast, and you'll hear my dogs bark, and we're like, "Oh God, we'll wait. It's probably just a person.
Yeah.
It's a bike. I don't know what bikes did to Thor's family, but in a past life, some bike assaulted generations of his family.
Yeah.
Because if this dog ever sees one bike go across the road, he's like all about it. He's like, "That's a bike."
Yeah.
It's like Tom Segura's bike bit, but coming out of a dog's mouth.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe it can't be a bike because it's not that aggressive. And then like in the dark, my roommate Aaron and I were like, the fuck is that? And I live in Jackson, and you know, it's an all right place to live. There's some high crime areas. We found a dog. His name was Maxwell. Here's a picture of Maxwell. We'll throw it up on the screen. And so I went to like one door, and the guy's like, no. And I was like, I knocked on the door and I stood like 15 feet back, and I had like my flashlight on me and my other hand in the air. I was like, hey, do you have a little white dog? We found it. I live right over there. And they're like, nope. And I was like, okay. In the second yard, it was so redneck enough that I walked like maybe 10 steps out to his driveway. I was like, nah, I'm done with this, dude. A motherfucker can come out of this house and be like, what the fuck are you? And just blast one in the chest because like, I look suspicious as fuck, dude. I didn't even have the picture of the dog yet. I probably would sound insane to these motherfuckers. So our podcast...
They probably thought you were the guy across the street.
Yeah. I have a meth addict across the street.
Yes,
you know?
he's interesting.
But we were supposed to record at 7:30, and it's 8:44. You know, 7:30 was the show up time. 7:45.
I showed up about 7:40.
But the problem with Maxwell is he's a good dog. I don't even know what he is. Like Scottish.
He kind of looks like Moose, and Moose is a Schnauzer, so he could be like a Schnauzer mix.
Yeah, and so I set up a large kennel crate in my basement because like it's fucking. Let's throw up a temperature. It's probably with the feeling outside right now. It's probably.
I'm guessing 35.
I mean, I was gonna go 34, but that's too close. So I'm gonna go a firm 33. We'll throw the temperature up on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, we should. I'll do that. 35 on the dot.
30, on the dot?
On the dot. 35 on the dot. So what we'll do is I will start a timer.
Man, I'm 1 for 1 on Taylor Stumpers.
Haha. Okay, so I started the timer. So negative. I'll hold it up so we can see it. -0 is when the screenshot for the temp.
Yeah.
And then before is Maxwell.
Smart.
And there we go. We're up in the production of the JT Show. Tons of ideas written down.
We got notes.
One of the things.
I do. We should start off with
the
happy birthday to Jason Segel, one of my favorite actors all time. He plays in my favorite movie of all time, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Also tomorrow, very special birthday day on the 19th. It is Mac Miller's birthday.
Nice.
And also Dolly Parton, Edgar Allan Poe, and my girl Chris. Shout out to you.
Dolly Parton wears hand gloves. I don't know why that's a big idea.
Did you see Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus's little New Year's performance thing?
100%.
Dude, Miley's a babe, and Dolly, for as old as she is, she's also a babe.
If I'm casually checking my phone, it's not because I'm an old person on Facebook. It's because I am.
He posted to a Lost and Found.
Yeah, so I'm.
Just trying to figure out who Maxwell belongs to. That's all it is. Trying to take care of the dope. Taylor, earlier we had to convince Taylor to let him keep him in his basement. Taylor wanted to chain him up outside. 35-degree weather, kind of a dick move, but we talked.
No, I can't talk in text.
I know.
Like,
I just
can't
think
argue.
I
I was just trying to finish. I don't move it as fast as I could.
No.
I just,
He was always
I
gonna
posted an update to the people. I said he's in my basement. He's in a large kennel. He's got 2 blankets. He's got a bowl of water, and he's got a cup of dog food. Okay, so Maxwell.
He might be living the life right now. He might have broke out like a week ago and
Shout out to Maxwell. But I think what we should do for the birthdays is we'll just each bring our own people we want to highlight for each pod.
I just want to do a funny one because I was like, tomorrow's Chris's birthday, and I was like, and someone very special tomorrow, and then just name 3 other people that weren't her.
Yes.
And then by the way, Chris.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we're like, we don't have to tell each other if it's the same person. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
You can pick more than one.
Yeah, I mean, if there's more than one, reputable characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
let's put a cap on one.
One, yeah.
Let's put a cap on one. Too.
One for the day, and then one for the week.
Yeah.
But it can't be more out than 5 days because we might do a pod every 7 days.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll just do it during the weekdays. No weekend birthdays.
So if we refer back to the timer here, I gotta leave it up because I'm professional. We have a viewer who's real fake.
Oh yeah.
Who we talked about briefly at the end. He's not gonna watch all the way to the end, so we're gonna do it at the beginning. Talk about the painting. This is Gary's painting that I made.
A good one.
He said he wanted whatever I wanted to make, and I do like to do scenes. I do like to do mountains. I do like to do paintings, and when I get into the painting mood, it's like, fuck, I should just drop everything I'm doing and just focus on painting.
I have to, if I don't finish a painting the night that I start it, I don't finish it. Like that one that I did with like the stuff coming out of the head or whatever, never finished it.
I will say,
it's sitting there.
Key move for I paint with acrylic, basic acrylic, cheap acrylic, hair dryers.
Oh yeah.
So if you're not blending, if you're not Bob Rossing, because
I just pick like a weird shape of a face, I guess, and I just kind of go with it. Like my last one was like that one dude with the mushrooms coming out of his head, and the other one was like a weird alien with shit coming out of him. It's kind of the same thing over and over again,
it's
just
cool.
different color palette.
I enjoy painting for the peacefulness of doing a landscape.
Some weird shit.
I'm down to not. We should do it. We can even do it Friday. I do have to clean for Casa Day party.
Yeah, big birthday bash this weekend.
Who was it, Mac Miller? Yeah. So I do owe Towel a painting. He wants trees, which is easy. I got another painting coming for a guy.
You should paint Tobel a like a snowscape or even a summerscape of.
I was doing fallscape with some big luscious pines. I love doing pines.
Lake Tahoe. Find an overview or like a scene from Lake Tahoe. Beautiful. You get the little lake out there in the middle.
I like to watch people paint.
Oh, and you copy them.
Yeah.
So you're tracing pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a Bob Ross I did.
That's not bad.
And Bob Ross.
I've actually never done that. I look for inspiration. I always Google trippy canvas art.
Yeah.
And then I look at them and I just kind of take little bits and pieces from
That's
all
cool.
of them. And then I just kind of go. I actually didn't know that I was as decent as I am at drawing faces.
Yeah.
Like I just went with it and started drawing.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I'm really good at is blending, only because I watch their videos so much.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that because normally when I start one, because you always start with the background, right? You do like a a faded background type thing.
The first on this painting is the middle pink, and the dark blue is actually the first color on both top and bottom. And then essentially you just paint over the whole entire pink area with
see, I do it like the opposite way. Like my focal point is like, because I've only done like 2 real ones. I did like a wave the one time, but even the wave I was just kind of doing like random lines till it kind of looked like something. But I start with the face, so the eyes and the nose, and I go from there. And then once I get the face down, then I work on the background, which is kind of like counterproductive because you should probably do the background first because you're painting over the top of it. That way your lines don't have to be perfect when you fucking roll in there. But I enjoy doing weird, trippy paintings, and it's kind of fun, especially you get a little oregano in the system, a couple of brewskis.
Fun thought, which I'll do. My dad's shout out birthday to my dad.
When's that?
Next week.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
early one.
Yeah, he shares it with a famous Red Wing.
Famous Red Wing.
Yeah. I want to say it's either Chris Draper, Chris Chelios. I think it's one of those two. Let's see. Chris Chelios.
Nice.
Yes. So my dad's born on the same day as Chris Chelios, not the same year, of course, but
Yeah.
so one thing that he's always asked for is that spiral painting. That's really easy to do.
Okay.
So what I think I'll do on Sunday post hangover is go. There's a paint shop up the road that does the official blue and maize of Michigan,
Okay.
and they have like the official licensed color scheme, and it's like the spot on actual maize, actual blue. And so I'll just get 2 small cans, paint some canvases, and do a spiral painting.
You know, what you could do too is you can, I don't know if this is what you were thinking of already, but you could duct tape them together and then poke holes in the bottom of them and have both paints go at the same time. That might make a cool like splatter effect when they
But
hit
it might
each
make
other.
green.
I mean, I don't think it'll mix like that. I mean, it'll just lay on, you know, it's not like they're going to stir themselves when they hit.
Yeah,
I mean, there might be some.
I'll have to look at
like,
some
overlays,
videos
but you
of
could always touch up.
toucan paintings.
Mhm.
There's people that do layers too.
Yeah, I've seen those, but
I feel like
at
if
some point it's like it gets too much.
Yeah, because
Because if you let it go too long, then in the middle of it, it's just like a.
I've always wanted to do one of those spiral ones too, where you just dump paint in the circle and just spin that.
I've seen a couple of them. They do 2 like cuts on the edges, and then they spin it, and then they toss it, so it like flails them out
and
separately.
One thing that I've always low key wanted to do, and I can take a free class if I ever want to, is do the pottery class.
Oh, dude, I'd be down
because it's at nighttime.
I was actually thinking I wanted to do a pottery thing because I want to make an ashtray.
It's at nighttime, so it's like it'd be like a Tuesday night class.
Yeah,
and it's not that expensive. So realistically, I would know the guy who you could talk to just sign. I mean, you wouldn't have to activate any of your stuff, but you essentially would pay for it out of pocket unless you just like. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. I use the GI.
I know
like
the guy.
Pottery class.
No, you got 10 years to use that. You want to say, I'm saving my GI Bill though for when I retire. That way I can take online classes. And get paid for where I live.
Yeah.
And then you have to physically be on class if you want the full, and there's going to be some numbers.
Yeah, there's some weird shit. They just changed a lot of it because of COVID. So like when COVID was a thing, you actually got the full stipend.
So
taking online classes.
So essentially, I want to retire.
I don't know if that's been redacted.
I want to retire, and I want to go fucking live in a country.
Monterey Bay.
Well, no, that's expensive. I want to go live like
go live in Thailand and take some courses at
Belarus
Bay online.
You know, some country where we can get a lot. Colombia.
I think I'm gonna retire to Costa Rica because it's like fairly cheap to buy land out there. Like I was looking at it, like you can get a couple acres, like walking distance from the beach, for like $100,000.
Yeah,
and that's not bad. And you build like a little fucking house up out there for another $100,000.
And here's the thing, dude. When we retire and you get that, pension sitting off, we got enough time to grind a cool little side gig. But we'll be famous podcasters by then.
Even if we're not, we're still going to be doing this. I think we should just do this forever. I don't care if it works out or not.
Because the more I think about it, if you think about traditional America, and we totally sidelined Gary's painting, but I did.
This is Gary's painting.
This is Gary's painting. I did a winter scene because I don't know. I think Gary doesn't get to experience a lot of winters where he's at.
Well, he did a winter scene because Gary's taking a lot of hot takes and he might be a little sad boy sometimes.
So we got to do a cool island song, a warm island song to cool off his heart. No, that's the South Park bit.
Yeah.
You mean no? We got to warm his icy heart with a warm island song. No. He's got a hot heart. And we have to cool it. But no, realistically though, I wanted him to get a little touch of Michigan. And then the pink sunset was hard. I did mess up, but I did correct it. But the thing that was cool on this was you put a little bit of the blue blending back into the snow, so it kind of creates banks.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't all the way dry, I was like, God, this looks like shit, and I'm gonna take a picture of it when it's dry.
Oh, so you can do a before and after look?
Yeah, well, I thought Gary was gonna hate it because I gave him I was like, if you don't like this, let me know. And even the little bark trees, the little snow on the bark trees, dude, that's my favorite parts.
It looks
But
good.
Yeah. That's Gary's painting.
Yeah, there it is. A whole segment just on Gary's painting, nothing else.
Yes.
I know. You got your own segment, bud.
I'm gonna write skip to 10 for that.
Just for
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that. That's just for Gary. Or I think that's the funny side. So Maxwell, I know.
Maxwell. He's chilling. He's chilling. He's doing fine.
What we were talking about right before the painting, though, right?
I don't know. I can go down my list though. I got a
Yeah.
couple of things. So there was a billionaire. His name's Larry Ellison, and he owns an island. I assume it's off the coast of Hawaii. He
Mhm.
owns like 95% of an island, and he was driving home, and he got pulled over for speeding by the police force that's out there.
Right.
And the guy had no idea who he was, and he's like, "Hey, any reason why you were speeding?" And the Larry was like, "Oh, no excuse for it. Didn't realize I was speeding. Just trying to get home." And he wrote him a ticket. Owns 95% of this island. He got a speeding ticket driving on it.
And one of the people.
Yeah, I mean, one of the people. I don't know. I feel like
Could be corrupt. I understand
but
speeding.
I don't know. He's a billionaire. He owns an
How,
island.
how fast was he?
I don't know how fast he was going. I assume it wasn't much. It was probably like going 45
At
to
the same
35 or
time?
something.
He could have just been like, I really don't give a shit.
I mean, he's a billionaire, and it's not
Exactly.
like the ticket means anything to him. And he's like, just write me the ticket, and then probably pulled like three.
Even if he was like, hey man, what's up? I was going 20 over, and the cop was like, in a positive scenario, it could go 100. It could be like, you're like, you're infringing on my rights. But I'm saying it could have been like, yeah, hey, I was speeding. I mean, he could have been like, hey man, I know you are you and you, but I have, and he's like, I respect that. I really don't give a shit, because even if this fine was $4,000, which is outrageous, you're a billionaire.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny because like there's been moments in my life, because I heard this in the Rogan podcast. It was Shane talking about it. He got pulled over for, I don't think it was speeding. It was for something else. And he got pulled over, and the guy wrote him a ticket for like $120. And he's like, that's all I had in my name. It bankrupted me. And so that's crazy, because I've been at points in my life where like a speeding ticket like that would have done me in. I would have been done.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that like for rich dudes, even if you're just a millionaire, like a $400 speeding ticket's nothing.
Yeah.
But for some people, that's like all they got for the month.
You know that all the clips you watch, you know that cool judge, he's like maybe
Yeah. Who
was always
it's New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
he's got the cool bailiff.
Yeah, the bailiffs.
And they always,
Yeah.
There's a young man, and he kept illegally parking, but he's like, there's nowhere to park, man. I had to pay for parking. I have a limited budget. I'm really just trying to make it in life without living at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, man, you've been ticketed 6 times. You have to pay these fines, but what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to let you do it in payments.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay it back, and then we're going to set up this parking lot that you can park at, and we'll get you a thing. And even though that's shitty life, that motherfucker could have been like, pay that motherfucking shit today.
Yeah, no,
or
he's actually one of the more lenient guys. He's pretty sick watching his clips. I know they probably cherry pick what clips they post on whatever page. I've never seen his thing.
Probably his positive page.
I'm sure, yeah, which is fine.
It's great. I don't care.
You want good PR.
You could make that Judge Judy, and I would watch that.
Yeah, 100%. It's very compelling TV. Watch people record. I just saw one yesterday on his TikTok account. I don't know if it's his. It's probably whatever his PR team's account, but
or some random motherfucker.
It was a young woman, and she had gotten like 10 parking tickets in this one spot. And she's like, yeah, can I wait till October, which was like, a few months down the road, to pay it, because that's when I start my job at the bank.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you don't work? And she goes, no, I was working at Walmart, but I got laid off. And he's like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna mark. He was being nice to her, and he's like, I'm gonna take off all of them except for one. They all tripled in value, and they were $60 a piece. He's like, just pay the $20. You can pay it whenever you need to. Oh, you can pay it in October. And he's like, what are you doing after this? And she's like, oh, I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna make my kids some dinner, and that'll be it. And he's like, oh, you got a kid? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, how many people live in your house with you? And she's like, oh, just me and the kid. So she rents an apartment by herself, just got laid off from work. He can't work again for another couple months.
Yeah.
He got rid of the ticket and then gave her $50.
That's dope.
That's a dope judge.
That's a dope judge.
He was like, because his thought process was, I can't take $20 from you. You're out of work. How do I know that that's not taking food out of your kid's mouth?
Yeah.
I want you to be well off. He gave her the $50. He said, if I see you back in my courtroom before October, I'll understand. He's like, but you got to get that parking pass. So she's like, I'm going to get it the day. That was one of the first things she says. She says, I'll pay it in October when I buy the parking pass, because that was the issue. She didn't have a parking pass.
Yeah.
She had no money for it. She wasn't working. So she's like, October 5th is the first day I can pay that, because I start my job 2 weeks prior to that. So October 5th is my first payday. That's when I'm paying all my bills that I got to catch up on. And he gave her $50.
Yeah. What a good guy.
That's a dope judge.
And it's like, I like watching every side of everything.
Yeah,
I like watching good cops at work,
hmm
and I like watching bad cops.
I
at work.
love both of those videos equally, both
And,
of those genres of videos,
like-
because one person's always being a dickhead. And
Yeah.
I love watching dickheads get put in their place.
Yeah,
It's either a dickhead civilian that's like, I know my rights, blah, 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 blah. I don't need a
I like
license to drive.
respectable. Like, there's some people that are like, yeah, you're a dumb piece of shit. Push me right, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like, they are correct,
Yeah.
but they're going about it in a manner to almost seem hostile to the point where like they're trying
They're trying to egg it on.
to egg it on to
Yeah.
where they actually 100% infringe on the rights further, so then they get the lawsuit. And there's other
I mean,
people.
they shouldn't make it so easy to do that. Like,
Yeah.
to stir the pot more.
But I
That's
love the
like,
motherfuckers that are like, yo, you ran up on me,
Yeah.
and I'm on the sidewalk, and I'm
I love the one
In
where
a
he
public
walks
easement.
up to the dude. He's like, "Hey, I think you're drunk. You follow my finger." He's like, "Why are you walking up on me?"
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
yeah,
Wrong with you?
yeah. My TikTok right now is just
It's a bunch of those.
I have to like, you know, they'll ask you,
Yeah.
did you enjoy the last video? And I just never say yes because sometimes I skip past them just to be like, I need to see like more.
Yeah, yeah. I
Because
mean,
those-
you got to
those
see
are-
all the parts sometimes.
Well,
but sometimes it's
I,
like
I will say if you go back to your For You page, they'll start tailoring those random videos back to the things you like. And
Yeah.
algorithms are fucking crazy, and the JT shows constantly. I saw
we need to make a JT show TikTok at some point too.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was going to discuss that with you.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Well,
Do it live.
no, that's a lot of work. On the phone and being distracted. Mr.
No,
Cut,
I mean, we'll talk about it live.
yeah, Mr. Cut here. You know, we're 118 episodes deep. I started this pod.
probably 45% of them.
Yeah, I started this. Well, I started this pod
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
3 years ago, and I was like, I just got to keep going, and my goal is to get to 100 because you can just quit. You can just say fuck it. You can say
Yeah,
10 episodes in. I have a pod because I didn't want to be the guy who, I got a podcast
yeah.
and do 10 episodes and quit. I wanted to do 100 and then reevaluate what I do. And then we brought, you know, since you moved here, and then I was like, you want to just do it, which was great. But then we're working on two people's schedules, so our consistency fell behind, which is fine. But it's because
I mean, it happens. Life happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
life
But
fucking
we're
happens.
right back at the grind.
You know, I used to work third shift.
Yeah.
And then at one point, you know, moving here, hey Thor, you're fucking breathing. I bet you these motherfuckers can hear that dog.
Dude, through the vents.
Yeah. But so cut finally, like after this New Year's skit, he's like, I want to invest in the pod, and
Yeah.
you know, there was 60 episodes where I was just grinding by myself, and I was like, this is tough
Yeah.
to just talk because the Bill Burr
Dude, it's a tough
So
sell, man.
Bill
Because even like
Burr-
the most interesting people in the world, they're tough to listen to when they're just talking at a wall.
You're talking to a
There's
wall
no give and take.
with because okay, I go through my videos constantly
Mhm.
just to see like if it's a good episode, what did I do, what did I talk
Yeah, see how
about,
far you've come, take notes, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
and so there's a good chunk of 20 episodes where I was pulling 17 viewers with a 2-minute viewership. But the grind goes on just like comedy. And I know I've taken the month of January off the right. I will be doing stand-up in February. But relating back to the TikTok, since you're like, hey, I want to fucking do a TikTok or put clips up,
Yeah,
you can just be the sole fucking manager
down.
of the TikTok.
I'll start it up tomorrow.
I don't have to fucking have any. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
essentially, well, since we're going to be moving to a desktop,
Mhm.
we'll always record an MP4, and then what we can do is there's a USB that you can buy that plugs into a computer, and then it has the iPhone charger plug-in. So essentially we can save an MP4 file of the entire recorded podcast,
Mhm.
and then I can just give that to you.
And I can pick and choose whatever the fuck I want out of it.
Or same way, but you can edit the clips you want to, like lengthwise on the PC, and then transfer it the same way.
I mean, either way.
So essentially, you're gonna get once we get we're gonna do the new studio setup, which what we'll do is we'll paint the walls a nice color that absorbs the light and doesn't reflect it. So it's got to be it can't be like
a little darker,
not an eggshell. There's another tone for the painting,
like a matte.
Yeah, like a matte. Yeah, but a light color. And then what I'd like to do too though is I want to do the corner. We're gonna do a circle table, and I would like to we each have the corner, and you have your setup, I have my setup, and we have shit up.
You know what I'm buying? I'm just gonna tell you because I'm buying it I'm buying it next week. Yeah, it's a little it's an action figure set from like the early 2000s, and it's a 2-figure set. And one of them is Brett Favre and the other one is Tom Brady, and they come in the same box, but they're 2 separate action figures. So I think that would be like the cool thing to have. I'm like, I have Tom Brady on my side, you have Favre on your side. I think that'd just be a cool little table piece. That reminded me of it when I saw it.
My brother, for Christmas, for my birthday, he's like, I got you something, I don't know if you have it. And originally I got the Favre. It's behind the guy who stole the money. It's behind the fucking painting.
Yeah,
I got that from the Packers shop. I used to get the calendar.
Oh yeah.
And then I have Aaron Rodgers now, and eventually I have a love. And let's talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about. You can talk about Tom Brady.
Who do you think's had the better career, Aaron Rodgers or no, Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger? I saw a meme the other day that was funny, and I think I could pull it up real quick. I'll name off these.
Aaron Rodgers, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
Less interceptions, more MVPs, same Super Bowls. Oh no, less Super Bowls. Yeah, you're right. Damn. Overall, though, I just think Aaron's a better caliber of a player.
So they both played the same amount of seasons as of right now.
19. 18.
No, 18. Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
Ben's been to 3 Super Bowls. He won 2. Aaron's been to 1, won 1.
Yep.
Ben has 13 playoff wins. Aaron has 12. Ben is number 5 all time for passing yards. Aaron is number 9. Ben is number 3 for fourth quarter comebacks at 41. Aaron is 28th at 21. Ben has had 1 500-yard. Oh no, he is number 1 for the most 500-yard passing games at 4. Aaron's had 0 of those. Ben also has 166 career wins, and Aaron Rodgers has 149. All of those are obviously tailored to make Ben Roethlisberger look better. It was just kind of like a shit meme that someone posted.
Okay, so comeback wins. Aaron's put his team in positions to win.
He's also lost more games in the same amount of time. But
yeah,
regardless, that is tailored to make Big Ben look good. Also, Big Ben has had way better teams he's played on, like teams as a whole, because that Steelers defense in the early 2000s,
Troy Polamalu,
was absolutely ridiculous.
Troy
Polamalu, James Harrison.
There's a TikTok.
They had some.
There's a TikTok of players and fucking like coaches.
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu. Troy's coming down the middle. That motherfucker was a monster, dude.
Was that
with
one
the
guy
nicest
too?
hair.
Porter? He was a linebacker.
Yeah.
He played on that team.
Yeah.
He was a fucking beast too. He's just a guy though. He's like the Steelers version of. I know he played for more than just the Steelers, but he was a beast. He was like a Teddy Bruschi.
The Steelers defense was never nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, no, the Steelers defense, my entire life has always been above par. Like it's always been great. Like there's never a time when you go up against the Steelers defense and be like, oh, easy day today, you know?
Right.
Yeah, interesting.
Aaron's had less sexual.
Yeah, he has had one less. Yeah, he has had one less. Yeah. This one is something we talked about at work all week. So there was a Texas high school football coach who was put on administrative leave after making his entire football team do 400 push-ups in under an hour. So there is a muscle bullshit. Well, no, hold on. If you overwork a muscle, you get like some rhombocytis or whatever. I don't know the real term for it, but it's a real thing.
We're doctors.
Yeah, I'm definitely a doctor. You overwork the muscle and it breaks down and it puffs up. It gets swollen, and then you just can't use it for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait for it to heal. So it's when you overwork the muscle too much. And I guess 2 or 3 of the players got that afterwards. But I broke it down. 400 push-ups in under an hour is a little under 7 push-ups a minute. I think I could right now do 7 push-ups a minute for an hour, 420 push-ups. Because at one point in my life, I know for a fact, I could get 65 in under a minute.
Yes.
I couldn't do that right now, but I could sure as fuck do 7 a minute, and that equals out to be 420 push-ups. Pretty cool. But 7 push-ups a minute for an hour, that is not hard. I doubt that he gave them the time.
That'd be a good
to be
chest
like
day.
It would be a great chest day.
Just to come over here for an hour and just do 7 push-ups an hour. And we could just do the party music thing where instead of drinking
every minute it goes
every minute,
and you just bust out 7 and then you just rest for a little bit.
You just lay on the ground.
Another 7.
That'd
Rest for a little bit.
be a good chest day.
I don't think that's how he had them do them.
No.
But I also think it would be really funny because obviously it was on a Monday that he made them do it.
Yeah.
So obviously they fucked up over the weekend.
Punishment.
Yeah, it was a punishment. They fucked up. And I think it would be fucking hilarious if whatever rival school they were playing made a video of them doing 7 push-ups a minute for an hour and posted it, and then all of them just like flexed on them or whatever. I just think that'd be hilarious. Like what a move. Or at least the team that's gonna play them this weekend.
Yeah.
Like whatever weekend they're coming up on, they just bust out a fucking push-up video and they all do 400 the whole team.
But it'd be
it would just be funny
to do it in the season.
Yeah, it would just be
What
funny.
area is that in?
It's in Texas somewhere.
All
I don't know. It was very vague, but it was Texas. Yeah, Texas high school coach made him do 400 in under an hour. And I just think that's very doable.
So what we should do is we should just start emailing the other rival schools in the area. And be like,
we got an idea for you.
We got an idea
for your PR team.
Yeah.
For your high school football team.
Yeah. Here, let me write that down.
Yeah.
PR, high school football. Another thing that to improve the JT show, which is just more work when you upload, is along with the timer, so we can write down like, hey, exactly when we throw in bits and pieces and yada yada yada. You can break up into segments. So essentially, when you scroll over YouTube, you can just see the bars. So essentially, when you upload now, I think that'll help viewership because if we're like, oh, we're talking about anime, scary.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I don't
One
mind
Piece.
that. We could do, I don't mind segments. We could
Well,
do
no,
like
not segments.
No, I
but
understand.
when we talk about topics,
videos, you can cut them in and put them in.
Well, basically, it'll be like what we'll do is we'll just talk about whatever we want to. And then essentially throughout the timer, if we go on like a good subject, I'll write down the time. And then that way people can be like, oh, they talked about whatever they talked about here. And then they talked about whatever they talked about here. And they talked about whatever they talked about here. And then bam, here's cut stumpers,
I like that. That's a good idea.
It doesn't have to be segments like we have 10 minutes to talk about this. It's just like, oh, we talked about the rainforest and how deforestation is a cruel thing and it's happening and we don't really give a fuck about it, but we should protect our earth because, it houses us. Anyway, but if we talk about that for a long time.
Last year picks. This is my picks for last year. I was 149-1 at this point in the picks last year.
I still have to edit that last video and then we do a recap, but what we should do is we'll do a recap towards the Super Bowl lineups. And we'll do like a recap / Super Bowl prediction. Okay. And then that'll be probably the last video for the year. Yeah.
I think a little finale episode. One more from the news section, sports news. So the Oakland A's signed a new dude from Japan. Pitcher. He's 6'6", 180 pounds. He's got 80 wins, 3.17 ERA, and 955 strikeouts in just over 1,000 games.
Damn.
He was the #1 overall pick when he was 19, and he went to 3 straight All-Star games. So like rookie, second, and third year. And then one of the first games back in his 4th year, he was having a bad game, and he walked a bunch of people. He was having a bad game, and he walked a bunch of people, and his coach never pulled him. His coach just made him eat those innings, and they ended up losing like fucking 17-5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then he's just had like a shit career since then. But in the last 2 seasons, he's cut his
ERA.
walked guys and his ERA in half.
Mm-hmm.
So his ERA right now is a 3.17, which is pretty good for a starting pitcher.
Right hand?
Yeah, right-handed, big, tall guy. They signed him to a 1-year deal for $3.25 million. The dude's name is Shintaro Fuganami, and he did his little thing today, his press conference, and he wants everyone to call him Fuji. So I might be buying a Oakland A's Fuji jersey just because I think that guy is gonna be cool. At one point in time, he was seen as a better prospect than the Angels dude, Shohei.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at one point they were neck and neck together when he was on like his 3 All-Star game streak. They were neck and neck together, and then he had that one bad game, and it just fucked his confidence.
I think Shohei has 1 year left.
And contract.
Yeah, and I think I read an article too, and it says Shohei's journey to become a Dodger. I was like, fuck the Dodgers, dude. If there's a team I hate as equally as the Yankees, it's the fucking Dodgers.
I hate the Dodgers so much more than I hate the Yankees, just because I hate all the players. I've never liked the player that played for the Dodgers.
Mookie Betts is the only player that I've liked to play.
I don't even really like Mookie.
I like Mookie because he played for Boston.
I don't really like him. Like, I like him as a player. I just don't like him. But like,
what's weird about?
I love Mariano Rivera. I love Derek Jeter. I loved Alex Rodriguez for a while. Jason Giambi was my fucking boy when he played for the A's.
For the farm team.
So like, I loved farm team. I've loved a lot of Yankees, but I actually loved the organization for a while because that was the first T-ball team I was on for like 4 years. I was a Yankee, and then.
Oh, that's the dog in the basement. We don't have to. We'll just close the door. Keep going.
Maxwell is
howling.
A Howley boy. Yeah. Anyways, been an A's fan my whole life, but I definitely have some love for the Yankees, not the organization, but the players. And we were talking about the other day. We were texting about. Ken Griffey Jr., how he said he would never play for the Yankees or whatever.
Yeah.
So the reason why he didn't want to play for the Yankees, when he was a kid and his dad was playing for the Yankees, his dad brought him to one of the pregame warmups, like into the dugout, and was going to let him like sit there and chill.
Yeah.
And one of the managers came up and was like, yo, George Steinbrenner said no outside people in the dugout. And he's like, yo, it's my kid. And he's like, yeah, no, I know. I told him that. He said no outside people in the dugout. This is business. And he's like, all right. And he looked at Junior, and he leaned down and whispered to him, and he goes, hey, look across. And it was some dude that was playing for the Reds, I think, is the story. His kid was out shagging balls with the players.
Wow.
And so that is why Junior doesn't like the Yankees. It has nothing to do with the organization, everything to do with Steinbrenner. And which obviously is a huge thing because, he was the man there for a while. I don't even know if he is.
I know, it's hard.
He's still the main dude with the Yankees?
Who?
Steinbrenner?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I know. Maxwell's making noise, and it's sad, but at least he's warm.
He's like, I want to go down there and eat him.
I might let him go down there and sniff the kennel, later.
Yeah, see what's good.
Not right now. Yeah, you lay on the paper. I don't give a shit, dog. But, yeah, I don't know. I just always.
I thought the story was interesting.
The only reason I had such a disdain is just because, like, growing up as a young kid, like fifth, sixth, not fifth, sixth, like fucking 5, 6 years old. Mm-hmm. My grandpa would just be like, fuck the Yankees. They buy their players. As a youth adolescence, I would always be like, they have to cut their hair, they have to follow the rules, and I'd just be like, this is just
Johnny Damon cutting that mane off was huge.
The caveman going nuts to the caveman. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked so hard. You want to skip on over to the JT Stumpers?
I got one more thing before then. So I figured since Barstool beat us to the other thing, I might as well steal some shit from their podcast. So I haven't listened to it yet, but this is one of their like fun questions. Like they call it From the Gallery.
Yeah.
So
shout out fun. To Barstool.
Yeah, shout out Barstool. Foreplay is the golf podcast that I stole this from. I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know their reactions to it. But here's the situation. Golf question. So you get one shot to make a putt. You get to pick the distance, and it's a straight putt, no break. Mm-hmm. For each additional foot that you add on to the putt, you get 10 grand. So if it's a 1 foot putt,
5 foot
10 grand.
putt.
5 foot, you're going with a 5 footer?
5-footer.
I think I can nail a 5 foot. I'm so confident with a straight putt. Like I know for a fact, like I've seen balls roll and I know that it's going to be a straight one.
Yeah.
I think I can nail a 10
foot.
But like
what's the Price is Right distance?
Oh, I don't know.
Because let me look that up, because whatever that distance is, that's what I'm comfortable with, because I feel like I could handle the pressure of a game show.
Yeah.
And I could sink that straight on a flat board putt. Because
I think that has a lot to do with it too, because how many eyes are on it? Like, is it just like an enclosed area, like a guy with a briefcase is like, hey, make this putt and win however much money? Or is this like an event? Like, are you showing up and like, let's say it's on like 16th at the Waste Management, and they just bring a fan out and it's you, and they're like, hey, this is a straight fucking putt. How far back do you want to go? This back here is the fucking $1 million putt, and you're like up in the grandstands. And then it's like, this up here is the $10,000 putt, and you're a foot away. Honestly, right now, with where my life is and how much money I have in my bank account, I'm probably a 5 footer.
Yeah.
I think I just go for the 5 footer, 50 grand. I know I can make a 5 foot straight putt.
100%. That's what I'm saying.
No break.
So
I think I got it.
So like, even as a professional golfer, that's the max distance that I would want that fucking putt to be. Like, if it was like you putt this par and you win.
Realistically though, with like I think I just do a 3 footer.
Yeah.
Just a tap in, just an easy little.
I do the 5.
I think I do a 3 footer, because I know I'm making that for sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. A 5 footer, I could have like a little hit in my swing, maybe.
I'm 97% sure that I'm going to be getting a new putter for this season.
Nice. We'll have to find a legitimate straight putt and then see if you make the 5 footer. We'll just see. We'll just see.
Another cool game I just saw. It's punt.
Pass,
kick.
I like that.
So, but it's a little different.
It's pass and then punt, and you got to kick it through the uprights.
It's punt, pass,
and then kick it through the uprights. Yeah.
So
I've seen a couple people do that on TikTok.
And so there's a couple fields where we can mark off 100 yards. We could start, and then like there's field goal posts, we can film it, and then we can throw it out.
That.
Yeah, and so
one of the caveats of that though is wherever the ball lands on the second one is where you make the field goal.
Wherever the ball lands on all 3 of them.
Right, so if you're on the right end zone, you have to try and fucking bend it into the.
So when you throw, so the second throw, it's not so much a distance.
That's your placement.
Your placement. Yeah. So essentially, the one that I just saw was the dude had to kick from the 33, which is a 43-yard field goal, and hit the upright. Yeah. Like on the corner, so he missed it. The guy who was in first had like an 11-yard kick. Yeah. But it was from a rugby angle. But he still nailed it. Yeah. So I was like,
that his first one, he shanked the punt, and then he had
and he still threw it like he threw it from like the fucking.
Was a big one
from like the 2-yard line. He threw it like with the roll to the 33.
He did get a pretty hefty roll out of it
because he threw that little shallow fucking
Just gave it a little skipper.
Yeah.
Not bad. Let's roll right into cut stumpers.
Hell yeah! Let me
mark that down.
See what time it is on the clock. 39.
So we'll put up we'll put up a little graphic of this. Stole this from another TikTok account. Same exact game. I just thought it was interesting. So it's a tic-tac-toe board. There's 6 teams on it. You guys can see the graphic. We'll just leave it up there. So Taylor, what he has to do is he has to guess the teams. So like, let's say it was the Packers and the Vikings lined up together. He would have to guess one player that's played for both of those teams. Brett Favre, million guys. But so the teams are on the top row: Bills, Jets, Browns. On the side row is Giants, Seahawks, Patriots. And I will Google the players to see what's good with it.
Okay, so I'm trying to go for players that I know have played for the best. So it's Seahawks, Jets. That's definitely Geno Smith.
Yep.
If you're gonna go Seahawks, Browns, I think that is a receiver. I don't have a name yet. Patriots, Jets, that's another tough one too. Patriots, Bills is another really hard one for me. So it's Giants, Bills, and Giants, Jets too.
See, my issue with this one is I got all the Patriots ones right because I know all like the little niche special teams guys, like the returners and the
yeah.
and like the like the gunners and stuff that played for all those teams. So I got that row pretty easily. I also guessed Geno Smith too, and I got that one right.
I'm trying to think of someone who went from the Seahawks to play for the Browns or vice versa. But I just can't put a fucking number on it. The Patriots, I feel like I should know the Patriots Brown one the most because I feel like that was a significant player, especially in the era of your fucking coach.
Mhm.
I feel like he definitely coached that guy who was like a number 100 player, and he's a defensive lineman, maybe, but I can't think of his name. Patriots Bills, I'm not gonna get. Patriots Jets, I feel like that one should be obvious, but it's not Revis. 100% not Revis. Let's see, Giants. I think Geno Smith's realistically the only one that I get.
Is that the only one you got?
Yeah, because I just can't. Once you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot completely about this player. But looking at the board, I think Geno Smith is a 1 out of 8.
So
9.
this one, I know for sure. So Patriots, Browns, right? Played for the Patriots, didn't he?
Who are you thinking?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, the receiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
Josh Gordon.
Yep.
And then Patriots, Jets. We can just go with Gunnar Olofsky. He was one of the special teams guys.
Okay. I recognize the name, but I never guessed it.
Yeah, he's actually currently with them. And then Patriots, Bills is I had it and I forgot. I can't remember now.
Got stumped by his own stumpers.
Yeah, I got stumped by my own stumpers. That's a tough one.
What about Bill Seahawks? Oh, is that? Oh, or you don't know either?
No, I don't know any of these.
Okay, so yeah,
I don't know any of them.
So do you have the podcast saved?
Yeah, I have it saved. We can put the graphic in later.
Yeah, so these are the answers.
We're both idiots.
Yeah,
both of us.
Yeah,
that motherfucker, dude.
I thought you already had this.
No, I didn't have them written down. I should have.
25 answers. All right.
I did have a couple more things.
Been gone for longer. I just
I got a couple things. So one of the things. The Last of Us TV show.
One of the highest rated TV shows.
Highest rated TV show ever on IMDb.
Yeah.
Crazy. So the guy, the main character, the Mandalorian guy, Pedro Pascal, he's never been the star of a show that was rated under an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Very impressive. Rotten Tomatoes, I fucking hate Rotten Tomatoes. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the ratings. I think they're dumb.
I think the critic ratings are dumb.
Yeah, I don't like the critic ratings.
I do like the audience score, which is funny because America, 2 memes. One, I like the meme that Pepper shared.
Yes.
That said, none of you Xbox motherfuckers.
I like that one. Yeah.
Should be not watching this show.
Yeah. Xbox guys aren't allowed to watch fucking Last of Us.
When I lived with Pepper, I bought a PS3,
mm-hmm.
and I played 3 games on the PS3 before I sold it. I played the Jak and Daxter trilogy. I was considered that one game because I love it. I played.
Chris has the original on a PS2 right now.
God of War 3, the one where he starts out in Hades realm and he goes to Mount Olympus.
I played through the one that was on the PSP. I don't remember that one.
And then the third game was The Last of Us, which is originally why I bought it, because it was such a good story game that I just couldn't not play it.
Spider-Man on it, bro.
Well, that's PS4.
Spider-Man had PS3 games.
Well, like a shitty one.
They've all been great. For their time, they've all been great.
The good one came out with PS4.
Remember that OG Hulk game where you could
for the PS2?
Yeah, you could bust up cars and use them for boxing gloves.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Game. So I get to watch that show. The other meme, I completely forgot about, so we can move past it.
All right, so I got a couple more sports things. One thing which I thought was crazy. I just saw this because I'm, I'm officially a Trojans fan once again. Getting into the college football game
Big
here.
Ten 2024.
Yeah, they're coming. So next year, it's looking like Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to transfer to USC.
Out of Ohio State.
Out of Ohio State.
No more CJ Stroud. You get to a quarterback coach who leads them to the Heisman, Lincoln Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a freshman or sophomore. How many years of eligibility does Harrison Jr. have? That's my main concern. I'll always hate that motherfucker. Except if he plays for the Packers. Now, talking about NFL football, Manning cast, I think, is one of the best ways to watch Monday Night Football. I think the
He
Manning...
just finished up his sophomore year.
Yeah, so
he's not even eligible for the NFL draft yet.
2 more years.
Well,
yeah, he's still got 2 years of eligibility.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm pretty sure our quarterback is coming back for another year too. I don't know if
the guy who won the Heisman.
Yeah,
if he's declaring for the draft yet.
Yeah,
I did learn some shady shit about Michigan. There's a GoFundMe where they're like 1 more year where Blake Corum's coming back. So we'll have Corman Edwards this year. We'll have JJ McCarthy. We'll have Jim Harbaugh. But one of our coaches has been I don't know if he's been arrested, but
he was coming back. He's not eligible for the draft yet.
But one of our coaches did some computer crime where he accessed some information he wasn't supposed to in a computer lab in Schmeckler Hall, and UMPD has the case under investigation, so there's not a lot of details about it. But there's a weird arrest going on for that right now from Michigan. And I'm just well, they had this weird shady fund that was going on that I heard about on TikTok, where it's the 1 more year fund, so we will get Blake Corum back, but it's basically fans oh hey, here's some money for your NIL deal that you can have. Just stay at Michigan for 1 more year. So at least next year we'll have Edwards and we'll have fucking Corum. We'll have we have a lot of key players to where if we play good ball and JJ develops, we may make another push.
I like JJ, the quarterback. I think he can get it done.
Yeah.
Better watch out for USC though. We might be coming into that season with a seasoned Caleb Williams, a seasoned Marvin Harrison Jr. if he stays.
If the Big Ten was super smart, they would divide it up in divisions, and they would because they're already in divisions. We got East and West.
Yeah.
But you got to split up the California teams into 2 divisions. So each division has an equal amount of travel time.
Yeah.
Because if some teams are only traveling to, Rutgers, Nebraska, Iowa, Midwestern schools, which are more towards the East Coast.
Got to travel twice out of California.
Yeah. So dividing those up, but I do agree with, I almost feel like the 2 best teams should always play each other. But I understand why you do divisions.
Yeah.
But I would almost rather see just 2 best records.
Same. I like that a lot more too.
And if I could reform college football altogether, if you want to do divisions, which I 100% like, but I agree with the best team should play. But if you have a division, so here's my envision for college football, and here's how it's gonna go. With USC and UCLA coming over to the Big Ten for contracts, for money, for fucking viewership, they're going to be making buku dollars. I think the conferences move into 4 main conferences. That means you got 12-man playoff for college football. That means that 3 teams from each conference make that fucking playoff game. If you want to make it fair and you want to make it more competitive, you get rid of those bullshit games at the beginning of the season. There's usually 3 to 4 games where you fucking pay smaller schools and programs to get fucking run trains on. That eats up with
games.
That fucking, and Deion Sanders, give him credit. He would not sign those contracts to get blown out. He does not give a fuck. He wants his players to have competitive games rather than just fucking that shit. So what you do is essentially you have an opener against whoever the fuck you want, and your second team of the year, I don't give a fuck, you can play whoever you want. So you just eliminate first 2 games of the season. Who gives a fuck about the conference? You move immediately in the conference play week 3. So if you're not automatically you've got to be in conference play by week 3. By the time that it's time for you play essentially 10 games. Game 11 should be the essentially, if we're going NFL, AFC, NFC fucking semis, so you have the best 2 teams in each division play again if they fucking have to. I don't give a shit. And then you play a fucking final for the fucking Big Ten championship, and then boom bam, you got your fucking number 1, you got your number 2, and then whoever fucking they vote on for playoffs. So essentially, you still, if you got to do divisions, you still get 2 teams. If you got a 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2. you got two teams that can play each other to go on to the Big Ten championship if you still do the
Yeah, I like that.
instead of this dumb shit of Michigan playing fucking a team that lost 3 times.
Yeah.
So Ohio State, who they lost once to Michigan, but I don't want to see the same game twice. Then fucking get better. Get a better fucking program.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that the school fucking down south has a great program. I fucking hate them. But if we gotta beat them fucking twice in a year to fucking prove ourselves, then we gotta fucking prove ourselves.
All right, so 2 more things. That's it.
Okay.
So I just saw a TikTok today, and this is the make you feel real old. So Dazed and Confused, the movie.
Dave Chappelle. No.
Dazed and Confused was the original Matthew McConaughey movie.
Yes.
That thing
All
about
right.
high school girl.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of the
I know which one.
Yeah.
Not how high. Half-Baked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same concept.
Yeah.
So Dazed and Confused was released in 1993, and the movie was set in 1976. So if they were to make a movie like that today, it would be about the graduating class of 2005. Isn't that insane?
That fucks me up.
Yeah, that fucks me up too. Isn't that fucked?
Oh, today's July 18th.
Uh-huh.
The 19th, that 90s show premieres, which is a show about the 1990s, which is hilarious because I was
and it's on par too because it was about the 70s and it was released in the 90s, and now it's about the 90s and released in the 20s.
Yeah, and they've already been relating to issues that were like big in the 90s, so I feel like they're gonna have like the best jokes because
I really fucking hope so.
My true hopes for that 90s show is that it turns out to be The Ranch.
Yeah.
Give me 8 seasons on Netflix. Red Foreman live forever. Because here's the thing, Netflix, the Ranch got 8 seasons, and I fucking plowed through that show. So you're telling me with this,
it was must-watch TV at the time,
and so you're telling me with
rewatchability 0.
haven't even wanted to pick it up once.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever
I've
watch
learned
it
the
again.
drama. Every fucking episode was a clip.
It was, yeah.
I finally patched my relationship with you. I'm pregnant.
Next episode. Just kidding. I'm pregnant and I don't want you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
your brother's dead.
That's how Outer Banks is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm never gonna watch that. Maybe I will. I don't know.
One time.
So I think we should leave the end of the podcast. So Deion Sanders, new head coach of Colorado.
Yes.
I'm gonna put the over/under on the top 25. Where do you think he ends the season next year? Is he inside or is he outside?
The top 10.
Top 25.
He's inside the top 25.
You think he's ranked?
I think he's a top 15 program.
You think he's a top 15 program right off the rip?
I think that division is runnable.
So if we let's put the over under. Let's put the over under at 15.
If his transfers pay off, I could see him getting 13. Because he even got a 5th-year senior from Michigan.
I'll take I guess the over technically. I don't think he's gonna crack 15.
I think 13. I'll give you 13.
I think he's gonna end up in the 20s. I think he's gonna end up let's
like
just put
23?
a weird. I'm thinking 21. I think he ends the season ranked 21.
I think
he slowly climbs that ladder.
I think division wins.
Because he still has 2 years with his kid. He still has 3 years with Travis Hunter, who was number 1 wide receiver. Well,
he leaves with his kid.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they got some doubts.
I think it's a Boise State situation.
Yeah.
To where they run the division, they're super strong
for like 4 years.
Whereas how long he's gonna coach? He ran Jackson State.
Yeah, no, they didn't hit.
He recruits.
They didn't hit the back-to-back because they fucked up on like the last play. His tight end dropped the pass in the end zone.
Yeah.
Just shitty, and I feel bad for the kid, man. And I teared up a little bit when Deion was like, "Hey, man, it's just one play.
Mm-hmm.
Go on there and go out there, earn your money."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "We'll get him next time." And then he left, and it's like, oh. But yeah, I feel bad. Feel bad for the kid that dropped that pass. It's just nothing you can say to him to make him feel better. He's gonna cry himself to sleep for a week.
I mean, whenever there's a Super Bowl winner, there's a loser.
Yeah, there's always a loser.
Which, by the way, speaking of Super Bowl losers, I have such a respect for Jared Goff now for just enduring and
He really did go through a lot of shit, man. He did lead that team to a Super Bowl appearance
and
and
then
then just got fucking traded.
yeeted out, and then he put up
Out
better
of there. I
numbers.
mean, they gave him another year to test the waters,
But honestly, with what he's doing with Detroit, and he'll get a fair contract if he wants it.
he'll be right at the like middle of the pack. I think he'll be at least in the top 20 as far as paid quarterbacks.
I want to say he'll get a better, but I think he's at this point, because he's already been traded from a franchise that was pushing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think he might even essentially, hopefully, Tom Brady it to where he'll get paid respectfully. But like, hey, man,
built on incentives.
we need to get it because I saw Detroit's early draft, like with all their draft picks.
Yeah,
a lot of defense for the hypotheticals.
I've seen Detroit's thing. I guess there's a tight end that's supposed to be available at about where their pick is in the first round, and then the second round there's supposed to be a pretty decent offensive tackle. And I mean, I think you give him another weapon.
Shout out to Jamal Williams.
Oh, dude, that guy's a stud, man. That guy's a stud. I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was a kid. He's like all anime fans that are football fans too, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I've been a fan my whole life." And in the background, he's got like some Funko Pops, and it's like it was like a Pokemon Funko Pop, or no, it was at first it was a Steelers Funko Pop, and then he looks over at his TV, and it's a clip of Williams. And he's like, man, can you guys just leave me alone? I'm trying to go home and play some Pokemon. And then the next clip is him wearing Jamal Williams jersey with like Ash's fucking gloves on. And then there's a Pokemon Funko Pop in the background. He goes, I'm just kidding. I'm a Lions fan now. I love that guy. And then his chick's like, what if he leaves teams? And he like looks back at their thing, and he starts talking about some Naruto shit. And then it pans back to him, and he's wearing full on Naruto getup. And he goes, I go where he goes.
I might even buy a Williams package jersey.
It'd be worth it, dude. It's just cheap
from the place where we order them from.
You know what you should do? Because he's probably going to be at Comic-Con next year too. You should buy that and then show up and be like, hey, I'm an owner. Sign this, please.
I'm going full blast.
You should dress as Jamal
with the headband. And what are you? I'm the what was it?
Do-rag, put some pads on.
No, what was the fucking
it was the Swag Kage.
Swag Kage of
the Villains of the Deed.
Yeah. Hilarious. Love you, Jamal.
Love that guy. Everyone loves that guy. It's hard to hate on a guy like that.
I think that's a great way to end the pod.
A solid way.
All right, guys. Thanks for viewing. We'll put pictures of Max up. Update on Max.
Beer in the comments. Let me know if you want a beer. I got you. First got to comment beer. Gets it.
Bye. Hey, so we got done with the episode, but then we forgot to do the update. So we're going to do the update for the playoff games we picked last week, and then upload this episode today before the first game, which is the Chiefs and Jaguars. So last week,
we both got 5.
Yep. The only games that were wrong, I was wrong on the Seahawks, and I picked the Jags. And we each picked Bills, Giants, Bengals, Bucks.
So it's all tied up going into the divisional round.
Yep. So first game on the line.
Who you got?
I got Chiefs.
Yeah, I got Chiefs.
I think Chiefs are just rolling right now. They're not giving a fuck. Andy Reid on a bye week.
Trevor Lawrence has never lost on Saturday, so I think it's going to be a closer game than what it entails. But I don't see the Jags beating the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Second game, you go first.
I got the Eagles over the Giants. I know the Giants are like running, but old boy's coming back, and I think Hurts is. I think it's going to end up being. Yeah, I got the Eagles.
I got the Giants.
You got the Giants?
I got Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes
running all over the field, and Saquon, dude, and they don't have to pass that much. Danny Dimes gets a little 20 yards up the field, then Saquon powers it.
Yeah, I think if Danny Dimes is controlling the offense like he should, I think there's going to be a lot of play action.
I think this pisses off a lot of Eagles fans. So
definitely. Fuck you guys, though.
Bengals, Bills. This one was tough. I saw a segment that a guy, he was from Barstool. He's like, girls don't know a lot of, stereotypical, but a lot of girls don't know everybody in football, but they know who Joe Burrow is. And they know what number he wears, and they know his favorite cologne. and they know what underwear he wears.
Yeah,
And so
I
Joe
mean that was
Burrow's
kind of the same thing with Tom Brady back in
so
the
so
day.
Joe Burrow's gotta go. So I got the Bills because Josh Allen. If Josh Allen wants to do something with his career, he's got to at least make it to the AFC Championship game again.
I got the Bills as well in this one. I think
Tough.
they.
This
I
one's
think
a
they go
high
through.
score. I'm betting the over on this game. I'm putting
Oh,
money.
yeah,
I'm betting. I'm betting the over, dude. What's
I'm
bullshit?
throwing a
5.5.
20 piece.
It started off at 3. Now it's at 5.5 for the spread.
Oh wow.
It started off at 3, and then
That's because everyone was taking the Bengals to cover.
well, that's everyone's saying it's a cover up because they're already selling AOC. They're selling Chiefs Bills. Like they're already like that's gonna happen.
Well, I mean
It's
the
rigged.
Chiefs, because that's the weird thing about it. Because it would have made sense because the Chiefs would automatically have home field, but since it's these three teams involved, it's going to be weird because they have to have a neutral ground.
Yeah. And then,
last game.
So if the 49ers lose, it's going to be by a field goal. But that being said, I don't think they're going to lose 49ers.
I don't think so either, dude.
49ers.
I have the 49ers down in there, dude.
Yeah. But if they lose, I'm going with 49ers.
So the only discrepancy we got this week, the only way to make headway is the Giants Eagles game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go Eagles.
Gee, man.
Go Birds.
Magic.
Tied at 5.
All right, we'll upload this and guys, thanks for watching.